With the second pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I got picked up by the New York Jets to be their franchise-saving quarterback. Coming from the University of New Mexico all the way to the New York Jets, they're very similar situations. See, at New Mexico, there was little to no pressure my first couple of seasons, but now they want me to come in, win immediately, and completely change the direction of this franchise. But with all the playmakers I got across the entire field, there's no doubt in my mind that I can make it happen right now. It wasn't the prettiest, but my first NFL start, we secured a win over Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens here at home. 265 yards through the air, a 60 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. We played a pretty decent game. Even though it's extremely early here in this season, I want to establish my go-to guys as soon as possible so I know who my true weapons are. And like I said, even though it's early, I think Elijah Moore is going to be one of my top targets this season. That boy is a beast. They don't talk about him a lot in the media, but my boy Braxton B is an absolute animal. If I was y'all, I would not sleep on that boy. And we got some already talent at the tight end position. I ain't going to say too much just yet. I got to see if he'll show up when I need him the most. But sadly, we come up just short against the Cleveland Browns on the road, and Deshaun Watson and his boys take this one. I said I wasn't going to say too much, but CJ with a great routing catch for the touchdown, bro. Like I said, playmakers all across the field. We're up 7 before the half, trying to make it 14, and who do I find for the touchdown? Elijah Moore for his first of the day. I told you not to sleep on Braxton, right? Didn't I? He does an amazing job tracking this ball down, getting in a perfect position to make this catch. At this point, I'm just hot, and I put this ball into an extremely tight window. Elijah Moore picks up his second touchdown of the day. We further our lead before going into the second half. What's better than 2 touchdowns? I don't know. 3? Have a day, Mr. Moore. He picks up his third touchdown, going absolutely crazy today. We secure a great team win over the Bengals, and we remain undefeated at the crib. But so far, I've been able to notice a lot of big differences and a few similarities between college and the league. Like in college, depending on where you go, that'll determine how high or low the expectations are set for you as a player and your team. But here in the league, if you get drafted in that first round, you have to play, you have to produce, and you have to ball. If you don't, you'll be projected as a bust. In college, I was outrunning defensive backs, linebackers, you name it. I was faster than anybody on the field, and it seemed like I just had elite speed. But these guys at the next level are a different type of fast. I went from being a dual threat quarterback to a pure pocket passer. And can you name any young, if not rookie quarterbacks that throw for nearly 500 yards in today's NFL? No, you cannot. And I gotta say, the protection from my offensive line so far has been sensational. The big boys up front have been giving me more than enough time to connect with my receivers and make the big plays. These quick and simple out routes to CJ are really starting to become my bread and butter in the red zone to pick up those quick touchdowns. And even though he's the 4th receiver on the depth chart, Corey Davis picks up a touchdown, giving us a 7-point lead over Miami. And if a perfect pass were to ever exist, this would be it. Back of the end zone, toe tapper. That boy Garrett Wilson ain't no joke. And just as I thought my days as a runner were over, I walk into the end zone for my first rushing touchdown in my NFL career, and I actually get to celebrate in the end zone. I don't know why, but I completely butchered this PA rollout. I swing back to my right, and I deliver an absolute dot to Elijah Moore in the end zone. He ran a great route against that corner. Nearly 600 yards passing on the day. We completely dismantled Miami's defense. Woo! We have to outduel a historically great quarterback today, Aaron Rodgers, at home too. You want to talk about a perfect throw? I delivered a strike to Garrett Wilson in the end zone. He picks up a huge touchdown. We find ourselves up 21-10 against Green Bay here in the third quarter. Not only is the offense rolling, though, our defense is playing really well. Right now, I'm hot. My receiver's hot, and we're carving up this Green Bay defense. And to no surprise, Garrett Wilson is having a breakout game. And you know it's not a big day if Elijah Moore don't get in on some of the action. Very quick, simple, and easy. I think CJ's route running is severely underrated. His ability to get open and create separation for a guy his size is pretty impressive. We secured a road win over the Packers, and I can truthfully, honestly say that statistically I outdueled Aaron freaking Rodgers. I don't know if you noticed or not, but one thing they've been talking about heavily on social media is how much my throwing motion has changed. Like now I swing everything into my throws to deliver absolute bombs like this one to Braxton. He picks up a huge touchdown. Like I've always had a cannon throughout high school, college, but now you mix that with superb accuracy. I'm throwing nothing but dots. But one thing about being a quarterback at the highest level, you have to be able to squeeze these balls into extremely tight windows accurately. But just like arm talent, accuracy has never been a problem for me at any level, and that remains the truth in the NFL. We pick up the 38-24 win at Denver, and that makes 2 back-to-back road game dubs. If only we got here a few years earlier, we would be playing against Tom Brady here at home and not Mac Jones. Garrett Wilson is kicking off this game hot, picking up his 2nd touchdown just in the first half. He's definitely trying to win that Offensive Rookie of the Year. But as much as I want to see my teammates succeed, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to take home that award. But if I'm being completely honest, if I continue to ball at the level that I have, we might even make our way into MVP talks. But like I said, it's early, we're only halfway through the season, and I need to focus on what's most important for this team, and that's winning football games. Me and Mac Jones went at it. We got the win, but we both threw for 5 touchdowns, and we both had over 100 QBRs. This Buffalo Bills secondary is elite to say the least. This entire defense as a whole is actually really good. This will be one of those games that the media talk about that defines my rookie season. And this quick route by Braxton is so simple but extremely effective. A big 3rd and 10 situation, and this is just perfect ball placement if I do say so myself, and a pretty good catch from Elijah. And the name that I know for a fact you will not hear that often this season, Jeremy Ruckert, picks up the touchdown and completely sealed this game. We get the blowout 42-17 win over the Bills, and me and Josh Allen meet midfield to show each other some love. A few weeks ago we played the Patriots at home, but now we're playing them at their stadium, and it's a completely different environment. Back in college, it would take me a while to establish who's my go-to guys and who aren't, but in the league, it's completely different. And what I mean by that is throughout the first couple of games, it was pretty clean cut and clear who my top targets were going to be. Like back in New Mexico, it was crazy. You would have the 4th and 5th guy on the depth chart come out of nowhere and just start balling out of control just at random. Coming into this game, I expected it to be close, and what do you know, here we are in overtime. But sadly, when it's all said and done, Mac Jones and the Patriots get their revenge here at their home field, and they take the dub. We got Chicago this week in these throwback unis, probably some of our best combos we got in the vault. That's another huge difference between college and the league, the uniforms. In college, you have so many combos and alternates, and the NFL is pretty clean cut and simple. Although I do miss the variety that we had in college, I love the simplicity that comes with uniforms in the league. It's kind of satisfying. But I can only imagine the NFL team having the designs and the combos of a school like a Oregon or a TCU. That would actually be crazy. But can we take a moment? Can we take a minute to recognize the absolute dominance that is being put on display by my tight end CJ? He is going off right now. And just as we're about to enter the 4th quarter, to no one's surprise, we're putting the absolute beats on Chicago. We do walk out of here with the blowout dub against the Bears, but I have nothing but love and respect for my boy Justin Fields. Nearly 140 QBR, 475 yards passing, and 5 touchdowns. I played out of my mind. My boy Braxton B is noticeably one of the smallest players on the field, but he comes up with some of the biggest plays. It's actually kind of crazy. And what I tell y'all about those quick out routes to CJ in the red zone, it's the sauce, it's the bread and butter, it's the meta. I didn't think I would come to this conclusion at any point throughout my rookie season, but I have to say Braxton is truly my #1 receiver. Don't get me wrong, Elijah Moore is a flat out playmaker, but Braxton is just a bigger playmaker. My, doesn't this look familiar? Rolling out to my weak hand side on the run, throwing this ball perfectly in stride to the back of the end zone. Plays like that reminds me of my time at New Mexico, but we secured the road win over the Minnesota Vikings, and I gotta say, they're a very complete football team. Just like the Patriots, the first time we played the Bills, we had them at home. Now we have them on the road, and we opened up this game with a huge touchdown from CJ. Some of the best young quarterbacks in the league today, the Allens, the Hurts, the Burrows, the Mahomes. I'm slowly but surely working my way into that conversation. I know I've only been in the league for a hot 3 seconds, but what do I really have to do to be considered one of the best young quarterbacks in the league today? Is it Pro Bowls, All Pros, Offensive Player of the Years, MVPs? What would have my name mentioned with some of the best QBs in the league? I'm not 100% sure on that, but what I do know for a fact is statistically, Braxton is going to be one of the best receivers in the league this season. We already have a pretty comfortable lead against the Bills here late in the 4th quarter, but we completely put this game away with a touchdown to Garrett Wilson. I sat out the last few regular season games to make sure I'm 100% healthy for the playoffs, and taking a look at my stats for the season, undeniable MVP caliber numbers. 3 receivers to crack 1,000 yards, they all have 10 plus touchdowns, and then you have my boy Garrett Wilson to fall just short of his own 1,000-yard season in his rookie year. We got Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs this week in the wild card game, and let's just say we started this game off the best way possible. I've outplayed a lot of great quarterbacks this season, but this week we got Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, regular season MVP Patrick Mahomes. There are so many similarities between Corey Davis and Bobby Wooten. Neither one of them are the go-to guy, but they're both capable of making big-time plays. If I had to relinquish my Offensive Rookie of the Year award to any other player, it would be Garrett Wilson. He's going to be great in this league for a very long time. And he didn't crack 1,000 yards in the regular season, but he for sure has now. He is going off in his playoff debut. Have a day, Mr. Wilson. We secure the wild card win over the Chiefs, and me and Patrick Mahomes meet midfield to embrace and chop it up. You want to talk about picking up where you left off? Garrett has taken this game to another stratosphere. He lives for these big time games. Trying to go up 2 scores before the half, I take a big hit from behind from Derwin James. I barely get the ball out of my hands, but Braxton makes the catch and he walks it in for a touchdown. Under 10 seconds left here in the second quarter, I connect with CJ to pick up another touchdown, taking a 3-score lead against the Chargers. You don't see it too often, but I actually take a few steps outside the pocket to deliver an absolute dime to Corey Davis to put this game to bed. Don't get me wrong, Herbert played a great game, but it wasn't enough to overcome our team's dominance as a whole, and I walk out of here with a nice 70 completion percentage. One team, one game stands between us and playing on the biggest stage in the sport of football. We got the Colts in the AFC Championship game, and we're going to need all hands on deck if we're going to walk out of here victorious. And to no surprise, Elijah Moore makes a big catch before collision to pick up a touchdown and take the lead. Down here in the red zone, I usually connect with my boy CJ for the easy, quick out routes, but my boy Nick Baldwin is wide open for the touchdown. And just like that, I send Matt Ryan and the Colts home with an L, and we all know what's up next. And to no one's surprise, I am the National Football League's MVP as a rookie. We're here in the Super Bowl against the GOAT, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and this is easily the biggest moment of my life. It's a low-scoring game here midway through the third quarter. Not a lot of big plays, just a true defensive battle so far. But I have to have some patience in the pocket, drop back deep, trust my O-line, trust my receivers, and just get it done. We got a 3-point lead here midway through the fourth quarter. We're finally starting to pick up some momentum and expose the holes in this Bucs defense. Under 10 seconds left on the clock, no timeouts. I take the final snap to put this game away. Tom Brady was on the sideline livid. Just my rookie season, MVP, Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP feels amazing. Now it's time to demand a release, go to a different team and do it again. Where should I go?